Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenaton, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today we are gonna be talking about a good old classic control deck. Not as in classic as it's an old archetype, but classic as in it's your very standard remove things, get card advantage, win in the late game type of control. Something that we don't see that much often in the game anymore because of a few reasons. One, Trundle Lysandra pushes out a lot of other control decks, and two, Azir Aurelia is kind of tough for a lot of control decks to fight against. But what we are going to be talking about is Thresh Aurelian Soul. Before you ask, yes, this deck can out late game Trundle Lysandra control, TLC, Watcher, whatever you want to call it. I'll explain more once we look at the deck, so let's go and take a look at the deck, why not? Okay, welcome to the deck. Now then, overall, before we get into the individual cards, what is the game plan of this deck? It's a very simple game plan, and that is just to survive. We're going to outlast pretty much all of our opponents and take it to the extreme late game and win with Aurelian Soul and Invokes. There are a couple of decks that we can't out late game because there's some like combo deck that can kill us with their combo, so we want to actually kill them before they can assemble their combo. Think something like Cithria Matron or maybe Lee Sin. Lee Sin, not as much because we have things like Hush and we can attempt to kill Lee Sin. But decks like that can beat us in the late game. Outside of that, mid-range decks, aggro decks, even some other control decks, we will out late game. And our main way of doing that is Aurelian Soul. Aurelian Soul Atrocity is going to be how you win a lot, or Atrocity plus a really big Celestial unit. You might say, why not play Eclipse Dragon? Couple of reasons. One, we don't need extra late game from the Nightfall of Eclipse Dragon. We're not playing something like Dragon's Clutch, so I don't like it as much. And number three is it just takes up more space in the deck, which we can use towards more removal and survivability. Same reason why we don't have a third Aurelian Soul. We just have enough late game. We don't need the third Aurelian Soul. And the meta's fast enough. If the meta slows down, sure, maybe a third Aurelian Soul might be fine, but for now, 2 is more than enough. Anyway, though, let's talk about the individual cards, because there's a lot of cards that are in here for a very specific purpose with a plan in mind. First off, Lunari Duskbringer. You might say, why is this card in here? We're not really playing Nightfall units, so the Dusk Petal Dust is kind of useless. One, a 1-mana 2/1 is a good early game anti-aggro card, and two, the Dusk Petal Dusk is pretty much just here for our Spacey Sketchers. Because we're not really creating any cards outside of Invoke cards. Like, we don't have a Zoe or something. We don't have, like, Mentor creating gems, no Goat creating gems. You might say, why not play Mountain Goat itself? One, Mountain Goat doesn't guarantee a, what am I thinking of? A gem. You might have your Mountain Goat just die. Might get frozen and die. Might get Troll Chanted. Troll Chant would actually still give you a gem, but whatever. Duskbringer's body is only slightly smaller. It trades with a lot of the stuff that the Mountain Goat would trade with. And the Dusk Petal Dust can also be used to activate Nightfall for Pale Cascade, so that's kind of cute too. But mostly it's just here for anti-aggro, to give you a guaranteed card to discard for your Spacey Sketcher. Speaking of which, next card, Spacey Sketcher. Well, this card's just good. This card is one of the ways we are able to beat Trundle Lysandra control. Getting Crescent Strike, in other words. Our game plan against Trundle Lysandra control is stun all the ephemeral versions of Watcher while either killing or at least hushing the real Watcher on their turn when they attack. And so we do this by playing things like Fangs and Spacey Sketchers to try and find the Crescent Strikes. We also have Solari Sunhawk too as the first stun as well, also as an anti-aggro card. We'll talk more about that later when we talk about the card. But Spacey Sketcher is just here. Very versatile card. Helps that, like I said earlier, we have Lunari Duskbringer to give us some cards to discard to it. Try and get the card you need, whether it's a Moonglow to protect something like Thresh, Messenger to try and draw through the deck, whatever. Next card, one Guiding Touch, pretty much over here being played over the third Pale Cascade. Just nice heal, a little extra heal for your phase 2, saves like maybe a Thresh or something. Decent against Ezreal Draven to mess up their Noxian or Ravenous Flocks and their Guillotines and Scorched Earths. Pretty nice card. Also cycles through. Same reason why we play Pale Cascade. Just a decent combat trick that cycles. Not much to talk about here. It's fallen from grace and popularity from when at the time it was +2/+1, but it's still a decent card. Anyway, though, those two cards, very easy to explain why they're in this deck. Next card, Solari Sunhawk. There's a lot of 2-drops in Targon that you might be saying, why are these cards not in it? Like Mountain Goat and Solari Shieldbearer. Mountain Goat, I already explained why. If fearsome aggro or decks that run fearsomes, aggressive decks that run fearsomes become more popular, sure, Mountain Goat's probably better. But Solari Sunhawk gives us the first Sunhawk, obviously the first Sunhawk if you activate Daybreak, gives us a stun for the first Watcher our opponent plays. Also, it's pretty good against aggro decks as well, similar to Mountain Goat. Why not play Blue Sentinel then? It has the same exact size body, but you'll play it in Dragons instead. In Dragons, we have some very powerful key turns that we would like to cheat up and ramp into. Specifically, being able to play a turn 3 Shyvana or a turn 4 Screeching Dragon. Here, we only really have like turn 4 Thresh, which it's not bad, but it's not as amazing as like cheating out a really quick dragon. So I like Sunhawk better in the deck. And it does well. Next card, 3 Vile Feast. Not much to talk about here. Just Shadow Isles standard, like ping card, leaving behind a 1/1 spider to try and do some work and slow down your opponents. Pretty standard for pretty much any kind of Shadow Isles control card. You could play like Unspeakable Horror instead, or maybe do a split of both. But I think Vile Feast is better because we don't need the extra late game from Unspeakable Horror. 2 Hutches. You can go up to 3. I don't think you need all 3 because instead of playing the third one, we play Moonlight Affliction, and the reason for playing Moonlight Affliction is the not being able to block, the unblockable, whatever you want to call it, clause. And then attacking it with Aurelion Soul or a really big Celestial and getting a lot of chip damage in, which then sets up a nice atrocity. But still, 2 Ushes, 1 Moonlight Affliction. You could run 3, but I like the 1 of Moonlight Affliction. Next up, 3 Solari Priestesses. Just a decent 3-drop here. Gives us some nice value, fights for the board, helps us smooth out our mid-game, finding things like Comets, Warriors, Golden Sisters, whatever we want in the late game. Or the mid-game, sorry. Next card. 2 boxes. One of the ways we fight against Azir Aurelia. You could run 3 boxes. It starts to get a little bit iffy if you run 3, though. It just starts to blank against certain decks, but of course we have Spacey Sketchers, so you could throw it away if you want to run 3, but I like 2 for the current meta. Helps you kill things like Draven and Ezreal too. Pretty nice in that matchup. Also really good against Nasus Thresh for killing a board of theirs if they go really wide. Really nice removal spell in the current meta. Next up, 3 Fangs, just an insanely good card. Gives you a little bit of healing, slows your opponent down, stabilizes you, gives you an invoked card. Crescent Strike, again, is really good if you're against TLC. Maybe like a Serpent or a Charger if you just need some kind of board presence. Moonglow if you're trying to protect your units. Very versatile, very great card. We already talked about Moonlight Affliction, so again, I'm not going to talk about it too much, just basically over the third Hush here. Triple Star Shaping. Besides Aurelion Soul, this is our other late game win con. Heals us. Sometimes we'll use it to heal our own units instead. And gives either a big unit, maybe a big removal spell if we need like a Supernova or something. Sometimes Living Legends if our hand's a little light on cards. But just an overall great spell. You definitely don't want to cut even one of these. 3 Threshes. Thanks to Azir Aurelia and Nasus Thresh, Thresh is really easy to level. Our opponents will do it a lot for us, in fact, by either Blade Dancing or just summoning a lot of things that will get removed either through Box or Withering Wail. So we play 3 Threshes, and then you can get out a really quick Aurelion Soul. I've honestly been able to get out, I think my fastest is a turn 6 Aurelion Soul coming out of Thresh. Next up, 2 Withering Wails. You can go up to 3 if you're seeing a lot of aggression, but I like 2 for the moment. I feel along with Fangs and Boxes, Threshes, and Star Shapings, we have enough anti-aggro that we only really need 2 Whales for the matchups that are really scary. But if you feel like you want a little more healing and a little more like wide board pings, whatever you want to call it, you can do the 3rd whale. 2 atrocities. The 2nd atrocity is definitely something you could cut. I like 2 right now because I really want to draw 1 every single game in the late game, so I play 2. Very good way of winning the game. Not many decks are able to stop an atrocity at the moment outside if your unit can't be hushed like a Nasus, aka it's Aurelion Soul. Like, Ezreal Draven has a hard time killing an Aurelion Soul who has full health if you use Atrocity on Aurelion Soul. So just a lovely card to help close out games that you are very far behind in. Next card, though. 2 Vengeances. And 1 Ruination. We'll talk about them both together. Want to have 3 of these kind of big unconditional removals. I like the 2-1 split. You could do like 1 Vengeance, 2 Ruination, all 3 Vengeances. I don't recommend 3 Ruinations. I think that's bad because we're actually playing for the board a little bit ourselves. But I like 1 of Ruination. Make your opponents a little scared of Ruination. They'll see your Shadow Isles control. They'll see you're playing like all these kind of Shadow Isles controlling cards. They might play around Ruination and then you can punish them for it. But I could definitely see 3 Vengeances too. It's not amazing in the meta, but it's still decent. And then 2 Aurelion Souls, like I said earlier. Meta's quick, but we need to play Aurelion Soul as our late game win con. Couple of cards that are not included, but you could include Sunburst, the 6-mana Daybreak spell. Very cool card. I'm a fairly decent fan of it. Play this maybe over the Moonlight Affliction, aka the 3rd Hush. Use it as like, it's sort of like another Hush as well. It kills Nasus, kills Thresh easily. It actually can kill an Azir if you bank mana on turn 1 and 2 and hit Azir on turn 3, assuming they don't have a recall. Pretty nice card. I already talked earlier about why no Eclipse Dragon or Dragon's Clutch. And that's pretty much it in terms of cards that we're not playing that would probably go into the deck. You might say like, what about, I don't know, like Glimpses or Hapless Aristocrats or Bastions or something. There's a lot of cards that just, for one reason or another, they just don't make it into the deck, in my opinion, but they're still fine. Anyway, though, that's going to be it for the discussion, the breaking apart of the deck. Let us go and show a couple of games. I have no idea if I'm going to do 1 or 2 games because I'll say this as a quick note. Like a control deck, these games are long. So if you don't want to play a deck that has long games, I'm sorry, this is not the deck for you. You're going to be playing like 10-minute to 30-minute games with this deck. 30 minutes at the latest, usually. Usually I'd say around the game times around like 12 to 15 minutes or so. Anyway, though, like I said earlier, let's get into a couple of games. Okay, welcome to the first game. We got a deck that's not really that popular. We got Mono Fiora. This deck, as for the mulligan, find Vengeance, find Hush. It's pretty easy for a mulligan. Outside of this deck, though, as for mulligans, you just want to find like some early game if you're against an aggressive deck, maybe a little late game if you're against a more slower deck like Priestess and Fangs against slower decks. Fangs is not a bad keep as well against some of the more aggressive decks. This is kind of mediocre hand, in all honesty. I need to get Comet here. If I don't get Comet from Solari Priestess, I might just die. I didn't get Comet. Well, that's a problem. Of course, you have Fiora. It's very likely you have Fiora as well. So, I'm in a lot of trouble here. Unless I draw Hush or Vengeance soon. I think I'm going to play Traveler here. I just really need to find some way to kill this. Cosmic Rays won't do it. But I'll take it anyway to, like, I don't know, get something out of their hand. They're going to entreat, sure. Wait, did they entreat and not draw a card? I wasn't actually paying attention. Don't tell me they have all their Fioras in hand. Oh, that's kind of terrifying. Well, I really need to find a Hush. I have to pass. I can't play into Unyielding Spirit. If they go below 8 mana somehow, I'll play Withering Wail, but I highly doubt they will. Well, that changes things. Here, though. I think I might, like, Star Shaping. I think I'm going to pass here. I think I'm going to cycle first. Let's start with that. Sunhawk. I love playing against Fiora, and I hate it too. It's literally just, for this deck, it's literally just find Hush, and Vengeance, and maybe Ruination, and I don't have any of those. The Atrocity is nice, though. I can use Atrocity to, like, pseudo-deny a kill, kind of, but then they can just single combat in response. But yeah, the fact that I know they have at least one other Fiora, aka Repose, thanks to Entreat, because I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if they even drew one or not. This Cosmic Rays, it's pretty much just being here to be held, or behold, or be beheld for our other Celestial cards. All right, go ahead, opponent. Box. Not bad, not bad. Good news is they need to play, like... Okay, there's the Repose. I will play this Withering Wail. I assume they'll do something else here. Troll Chant. Okay. I'm fine with that. Getting rid of Troll Chant's really good for me. Still, though, I gotta be real careful now. 2 out of 4. But yeah, this is not looking good. I think I actually might lose this game now. This Cosmic Rays is doing nothing now. Troll Gifts, that's not normal for that deck, but that's kind of a problem. Thankfully, she's only a 4/3, so it's not actually a problem. I really need to hit Comet here. Thank you, deck.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 opponent. Is this where they concede? I think it's game over for them. You could try to single combat. You don't have a way to stop this, really. And, like, Mono Fiora with Freljord can't stop that. Yep. Good game. Are you gonna play like a Fiora? No? You don't have another Fiora? It's pretty good for me. Let's just do this. I don't know. Give me the doggo. I have a little too many cards here. I don't like this, but I think I'll just throw away my Sunhawk here. Probably should have considered that before I played Fangs. I don't want to burn a card. I can't burn... If I burn like a Hush or something and then they play another Fiora... Wow, I would have burned a Hush too. I could just lose the game. But yeah, I don't see myself losing the game from here. Let's start with a doggo. I don't know. Discard. I'll discard Atrocity, I guess. It's not really doing much here. Yeah, Crescent Strike's not bad.
That's a pretty sparkle fly.
Okay, I got a basically Fat Hush. Opponent, you can give up. Sure, Trickster. I'll replace the 1/1 with a Trickster if they pass. I think that's lethal on board. Exact lethal too. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. No, it's 14 damage. Good game.
Glory.
All right, good game. Let's get another game in. Okay, welcome to game number 2. It's Nightfall. Not heavily, not a big meta deck, but it's always on the fringes of the meta, it seems. So, let's keep Sunhawk. I really want to find Box and Withering Wail in this matchup. Vile Feast is nice too, though. Kind of sad we didn't run into, that's a bad draw. Kind of sad we didn't run into, say, like, a Aurelia or a Nasus Thresh or something, just to show off how this deck works against those decks.
No more hiding.
Yeah, I'll take it all. Come on, Thresh. That's a pretty good draw, too. I'm not going to play this Sunhawk here. I want to basically use Sunhawk to stun the Crescent Guardian. I think that's the name of the card, the 5/3 with Overwhelm. Okay, never mind. Plans have changed. I need the Sunhawk to block this. Could have attacked in there, but if I attack in there and then they have a ping, I will be forced to play another Sunhawk when I want to play my Solari Priestess this turn. Also, not a good draw. Aurelion Soul. We don't really have a way to discount him, unless you count Moon Silvers, I guess, but not really a good thing to draw early on in this deck. Like most Aurelion Soul decks. Even decks with Eclipse Dragon don't want to draw Aurelion Soul that early. Is this
Their scent travels on the night
Nocturne?
air.
No, it can't be Nocturne.
Find your own light within the
Diana.
darkness.
Yours is the light I cherish, Moon Sister.
What is this attack? I'm gonna do this. I'm trying to think, like, what do they have for 1 mana? They can't attack in. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's no way you attack in here. Also, Prismatic Diana. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, just what I love to see. 2 Aurelion Souls by turn 4. Welcome to Sarcasm. Well, the good news is my Radiant Stars will guarantee a Thresh, which is actually kind of nice. I'll take it, I'll take it. I think that's good. I could have just open attacked in here, but I'm a little afraid of Pale Cascade. Like, sure, I have my own Pale Cascade to counter their Pale Cascade, but I like to start with the Priestess so I can Pale Cascade and cycle. Like, so don't, I'd say, be afraid to not cycle. I'll offer this trade. They can Pale Cascade twice, though. But yeah, don't be afraid to use Pale Cascade to just get a good trade. But I like to, especially because we're not really that creature heavy, I like to use it to try to get a good draw. Like, is this Pale Cascade? Yeah, we'll have to use it here.
Our light grows brighter.
Little scared of Diana, though. Diana seems to be leveling soon. The nice thing is they're out of cards. Well, not out of cards, out of mana. They don't have much spell mana here. Neither do I, but I'm the control list. Ah, but they can use the gem to activate Nightfall. Ugh. Yeah, like gem, something, like they're elusive, Nightfall, level up Diana, or this to level up and activate Nightfall. I don't know. This double Aurelion Soul draw really messed me up. Yeah, there's Diana. Level up.
The night, her kingdom.
Okay. I'm gonna start with a ping on this. One less damage I'll take. It's nice. I'll take, like, what, 4 damage here? It's fine. Then I get out a, what, a 5-8 Thresh to try and deal with Diana or the Elusives. I think I'm going to try and get out a 5-8 Thresh to deal with the Elusives and use Moonlight Affliction on Diana. I have 4 mana opponent. Are you scared? You can't activate Nightfall, so you don't have Challenger, but I would still chump it. I guess they're afraid of Pale Cascade. Sure, I'll take it. Also, 4 mana Thresh. God, I love Written in the Stars. Such a lovely card. Ooh, and Hush. Now I don't even have to use Moonlight Affliction. Yeah, get in there, Thresh. Do your job. How's the rest of my hand look? Not that great. It's fine, don't worry. Solari Priestess will give us Golden Sister. We'll win that way. Hopefully Nocturne doesn't come out. Stalking Shadows does nothing. Okay. They can't play Nocturne until I attack, though. That's who I'm afraid of. Yeah, I'm a little afraid of that. I think I'm actually going to kill this. Well, no. I'm afraid of Unto Dusk. I think that's the name of the burst spell, but I think I should still kill the Elusive anyway. This is not a good enough amount of health. I do not feel safe with only 13 health against Nightfall. Especially when they have Elusives on the field. And I think they have another Doom Beast. Oh, that's not good. I might be using Moonlight Affliction here. That's a huge draw. Oh, that is such a good draw. Oh, Flight was what came from Stalking Shadows. Alright, let's... Fangs. Serpent is a great hit. I'm gonna take the Serpent, too. If they play a Nightfall card here to activate Diana, and, like, their idea is, like, what, Pale Cascade? I guess they could Pale Cascade now, because they've currently activated Nightfall, so they could Pale Cascade, Hook, and Thresh. I'm fine. No, I'm fine. I think.
Moonlight cloaks the land in silver.
So they have... So he's gonna level. And when he levels, he gives, what, Fearsome and everything? But I can silence into a block. Yeah, I'm fine. We are good. This is kind of annoying, though. I wonder because since he's gonna level and give everything Fearsome, if they hook in nothing but Thresh. Oh, no, you wanna... Okay. I'm fine with this. Kill Thresh, or try to kill Thresh. Oh, no! Okay. Yeah, I like this. This is great. Sadly, though, I have to silence Nocturne and Diana, though, I think. But that's fine. I have other blocks. Silence those two. So... I just want to do some chumps. Like that. I'll put, that's 3 things dying. I want 2 more things to die, so... This will do it. Yeah. Yeah, this will let my, this will let Thresh level up. Saving Serpent, so Serpent can trade for Diana. And I take 4 here. Alright, we're good, we're good. Turn 8 Aurelion Soul. Assuming they don't have another Pale Cascade. Or something. They had another Pale Cascade. Oh, no. Okay. That's not good. That's really bad. Still, though, I can trade my Thresh and Serpent for these two. That's a good draw. I could just open up with a Vengeance on Nocturne. That's not crazy to do, in all honesty. And I think I'm going to do it. I really want to get this Aurelion Soul out of my hand now. Please don't be weird and play Bastion or something. Thank you. Still, though, that Nocturne, that really hurt me a lot. Still, though, Serpent hooking Diana. Thresh hooking Shadestalker. We're good. No. Other way, other way. If they want to block here for some reason, I'm happy with that. I doubt they'll block my 1-1 with a 2-1. They're chumping Asol, though. This was also a great draw. Like, yeah, the healing's nice and all, but really the cycling. Cycling to try and find star shaping is good. Oh, come on. This Diana, though. It's fine. I can hush her. Nah, I'm not going to hush her now, but I can hush her in the future. All right, opponent. You got it. Hey, you know what would be great, deck? Withering Wail. I know I only have 2, but still, Withering Wail would be really good here, deck. I'll take a Vile Priest, too. Destroyer, whatever. He's big, I guess.
I do love an audience.
Another Vengeance. Not the worst. Let me start with Solari Priestess. I still have Vengeance mana for this. Yeah, Meteor Shower is good.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
They can't just attack in here. If they play Nocturne, which is what I was really hoping they wouldn't. Okay. Do I think they have yet another Pale Cascade? Right, what is this? I do, but... I'm gonna try to do this. I can't let Diana... I have to take the hit from Flight. I can't let Diana just trade for free with something like my Thresh here. And I get a bluff Pale Cascade myself here, so that's nice. But I really need this Nocturne to die. The fact that they had a second Nocturne is so scary. I'm kind of afraid of Atrocity, too, in all honesty. I know this deck doesn't play Atrocity that often, but seeing it as a one-of, it's not uncommon. Oh my gosh, thank you for working. All right, what you got, opponent? Yeah, Doom Beast, whatever. I can heal that. Go ahead, attack in. Taking 2, I don't care. Oh, not my Thresh. Whatever. Yeah, you got it. I really need to find one of my star shapings. If I can find a star shaping, I have just closed this game out. Or a Withering Wail. Withering Wail wouldn't be a bad draw either. Equinox is a good hit. Silence their flight when they replay it. Fangs is actually kind of great. Moonglow Fangs would be nice. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I win. I don't get to hold up Vengeance this turn, but it's fine. So unless you have like double ping, okay, cool. I win. Maybe I don't win. I could silence this, but I want to silence the flight, so I'm just going to offer the trade like this. I could also hush it if I wanted. Let me see what they do. If their last card's like Pale Cascade and they block like this, and Pale to save it. Oh, or they just don't block at all. Okay. I'm more than happy with this. Yeah, go ahead. What you got? Because I got an Immortal Fire.
I do love an audience.
That's a great draw.
Night flowers upon
That
my
doesn't
blade.
do anything. Good game. Last card is Unto Dusk. That has to be the flight now. I'm pretty sure that's like guaranteed flight. I'm just gonna play Destroyer. Level up Aurelion Soul. Really make them sad. Good game.
You've been wonderful, as have I.
Okay, welcome back to the deck screen, to the deck itself, to my closing thoughts on the deck. I like this deck. I feel this is a very solid deck for the meta. Very decent for tournaments too. There is one problem, and that is consistency, I would say. Sometimes, and this is true of a lot of control decks really, sometimes you'll just draw the wrong part of the deck against a certain deck. Like sometimes you'll be playing against aggro, you'll draw your Aurelion Souls and your late game. Sometimes you'll be playing against control, and you'll just keep drawing more and more anti-aggro in your control tools. But pretty much almost every control deck has that problem. It's just something you learn to live with. But I do think this deck is a solid deck. As for bringing it to tournaments, the issue with bringing it to tournaments is since it plays Aurelion Soul, that kind of does lock you out of dragons, because dragons would also like to play Aurelion Soul. But if for some reason you didn't want to play Aurelion Soul, like Shyvana Aurelion Soul, this is a good deck to bring as well. I feel I wouldn't say it's tier 2, but I do think this is definitely a contender for a strong tier 3 deck. A deck that you would bring against certain decks. I have farmed so much Azir Aurelia and Nasus Thresh with this deck. I think I have a 70% win rate against Azir Aurelia with this deck and like a 65% win rate with this deck against Nasus Thresh. Thanks to a lot of the tech and the card choices I have here. I've gone against Trundle Lissandra Control, and I have a very high win rate against them as well, but it's a smaller sample size because that deck's not as popular anymore because of Azir Aurelia. Anyway, though, I hope you enjoy the deck. If you have any questions, I'll answer them in the comments down below. If you have any questions about how the deck works, why certain cards are in the deck, if I didn't cover it. If you have any ideas as to how you would like to change the deck, I would love to hear them as well. And if you guys just enjoyed the video in general, it would mean a lot to me if you could leave a like or a comment down below. Also, if you want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, where I actually play this deck sometimes recently, you can go and check me out on my Twitch account at twitch.tv/Zenaton. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all again once more for watching this video. And until I see you guys in the next one, bye!